Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the most important video that you're gonna watch from Salvage Nation in 2024. That's because in this video, I'm breaking down the salvage game. I'm giving you all the knowledge that I have amassed over a 10-year period. And by the end of the video, you're gonna know, is it worth it buying and selling salvage cars in 2024? It's gonna be a mazza, and we're getting into it right now. Now, if you're new here and you don't know who I am, my name is D, and if you're thinking, who's D? Who are you? Like, who qualifies you to tell me whether I should buy and sell salvage cars or not? I've been doing this for over 10 years. I have made tons of money and I have lost tons of money. I have taken every L that there is to be taken in the salvage game, and I want you guys to have a better understanding because in my opinion, the salvage game has changed over the years, some for the best and some for the worst. Now, when you think of salvage, what do you think about? For me, I think about copart. Funny enough, copart comes to mind. You think about copart, you think about salvage. Think about salvage, you think about copart. I do a lot of shopping on copart, but I want to take you back to a time before copart where you could buy some really top cars for a really cheap price. And I'm talking about back in 2005, 2006 and 7, there was a company called Universal Salvage. Well, actually, there were tons of little scattered companies all over the country, and you could really get some good deals. But as you may or may not know, Copart are a US company. They have monopolized the entire scene, and they have bought out a lot of the other smaller companies. At least 80% of the salvage market in 2024 actually goes through Copart. They made a deal with the majority of the UK insurance companies, and they said, look, you guys stay in your nice, comfy little offices, and I'm gonna take care of the collection, take care of the storage. We're gonna sell the cars on your behalf, and all you need to do is sit back and allow us to do so. So the way it works is a little bit like Amazon. A lot of the cars, they belong to the insurance companies, and Copart has got this fancy bidding system. It's actually really good, it's really intuitive. Like I said, I do a lot of shopping with Copart, and this is not a sponsored video from Copart whatsoever. I'm just giving you the information that I have amassed. The bidding process is super easy, and they have actually got a massive selection, if not the biggest selection of salvage vehicles in the UK. There's still a few other competitors, but in my opinion, I've shopped there before, like IAA auctions, and there used to be one called Motorhog. It's actually a good thing for salvage, it's actually a good thing for me, but I miss the good old days of Universal Salvage. I used to go down there, you can get, like literally, you can get a top car for £1,000. But what I've seen over the years is when Copart came over, Copart is a mega company, and they've done a lot of advertising, and it's become commercial. It's become a bit of a trend, and everyone seems to be doing it. Like, I've got a mate, I've got this, I've got that. Everyone is aware of Copart, everyone's aware of salvage, everyone is aware. And that comes with a few issues. Because everyone's doing it, not everyone's doing it properly. And there's a lot of dodgy cars out there, which is giving salvage a bad name. So when you hear category cars, write-off cars, cat in, cat S, a lot of people tend to turn their backs. And that brings us to the first tip, where to get a decent salvage car. Like I said, I do all my shopping on Copart. I just found with the other auctions, you're gonna get the one-off goodbye. You're not gonna get that massive, extensive range of vehicles to choose from when you're looking for your next salvage car, salvage build, whatever it is that you're looking for. Another tip, a lot of salvage companies are based on eBay, and what they do, they go to these other auctions like Copart, IAA auctions, they buy a car, get it delivered, they dress it up a little bit, they add some money on top, maybe a couple of hundred, sometimes even a couple of thousands. I've actually seen this. I've seen a car go in the auction, and then a week later, I've seen it on eBay for £2,000 more. And it's mad. Literally, they've done nothing to the damage, and they've sold it as a salvage car, and someone is gonna go and buy that car, and already they're out of pocket because that company needs to make a bit of profit. So I'm just trying to make you aware of that practice. So now that you know where I get my cars from and where you can get a salvage car from, I'm gonna tell you how to start. Always start small. Now behind me I've got a car. I'm gonna be showing you this car later on. We're actually gonna be working on this car later on in the video, so stay tuned for that. But top tip, start small and always start off with a category N. That brings us to categories. You've got category S, category in, and there's some other categories that you don't really need to know about for this video, like category B, they're for breakers only, and you need a special license for that. So we're not even gonna talk about that. But start with category in. Category in is non-structural damage. That means you can buy a cat in car and you might need to change a wing panel, a door, or headlight, bumpers, etc, etc. Category S's are a little bit more headache. That stands for structural damage. That might entail jigging the chassis, that might entail removing or cutting the rear quarter panels, any structural part of the vehicle, which can be a lot of headache for your first build. Another top tip, stick to your budget. Check this out. Imagine this bowl is your budget and it can only take that much. Stick to it. If you overfill this bowl, there's gonna be a mess everywhere. And if you go over budget, trust me, it's gonna leave your bank account and your brain in a mess because you're gonna be under stress. Believe me, identify your car, stick to your budget. I have done it many times in the past where I've seen a car, I've got caught up in the bidding process, bid, went over budget, and then the fees hit, delivery hits, I check out the prices of the parts, and then I'm sat at home thinking, oh my God, I'm under stress. This is pushing me over budget. And then once you're over budget, you have to try to sell it for more, which is gonna make it long to sell, and then you're gonna end up losing. I suggest getting something small, automatic, family orientated. When I was younger, I used to take L after L because I used to go get salvage cars that I like and thinking, I'm gonna sell it, make a lot of money because I like it, so everyone else is gonna like it. It doesn't work like that. I tend to get family cars, automatic cars, because a lot of people just want a nice car for the family and a lot of people want an automatic car. In 2024, more people are taking automatic tests than manual tests. And if you've got an automatic car, you're gonna appeal to a wider range. So that's a big tip. So guys, I hope you're following. Now, once you identify your car, it's an automatic, it's a category in, you've bidded on your car, you've stuck to your budget, the minute you get your car delivered, if you haven't got a logbook, head straight to the post office and pick one of these bad boys up. This is a V62 application to get your new logbook. This is gonna take up to 6 weeks if there's a registered owner on the vehicle. Now, top tip, back in the day you were able to go online, there was a special service from the DVLA, you can type the reg in, vehicle inquiry, and at the bottom it would say, you can tax this car without the logbook at the post office. For some strange reason, the DVLA a few years ago, they reckoned that was too much information to share over the internet, so they discontinued that service. And now you can still do a vehicle inquiry to see if the car's got tax or MOT, but it doesn't give you that information at the bottom anymore. The strange thing is, you can still call the DVLA. A lot of people don't know this. You can call up the DVLA. I'm gonna put a free number on the screen right here, and I'm gonna put it in the description. Normally the DVLA's got an 0845 number, you have to pay quite a lot, but I found a free number for the DVLA. I've been using it for years, and I get through to the offices that I need to get through, and I'm gonna share that information with you. But you have to phone them up, and you have to say, I've just bought a car from the auction. I want to make sure if it's registered in the trade. That's the new term. I want to check if this car is registered in the trade. If it's registered in the trade, it means it hasn't got a previous owner attached to the car, so the data law does not apply, and they'll tell you over the phone, yes, it's registered in the trade, or no. If they say, no, it's not registered in the trade, unfortunately, you cannot do anything. I get tons and tons of DMs. I haven't got a logbook with my car. DVLA says that I need to wait 6 weeks. Is there a workaround? I've been doing this for 10 years. It's super frustrating. There is no workaround. As soon as I get a car delivered, I make a phone call to the DVLA. If I can tax it by the post office, I go straight to the post office anyway. I fill one of these out, I tax it, and I send it at the same time and wait up to 6 weeks. And they say up to 6 weeks. It always generally takes between 4 and 5 weeks, and in some cases, it goes over 6 weeks. If you know, you know. So I've got a whole set of these, I keep these at the garage, and I've actually got 2 that I'm about to take off to the post office right now. Now guys, this next tip is super important. A lot of people think if I spend more money, I'm gonna buy a bigger car, I'm gonna sell a bigger car for more money, and I'm gonna make more money in the end. It doesn't work like that. This used to be my #1 mistake in the salvage game. Think about it. You spend more money, you're gonna get a bigger car. I'm talking like a Mercedes, a BMW, you're gonna spend upwards of 6, 7 grand. If you're starting out, don't buy any car that's worth over 6 grand. Most people can afford to buy a car for 3 grand, 4 grand, and they'll buy it easily without having a second thought. When you start spending 7, 8, 9, 10 grand, 14 grand on the car, you wanna make sure that car is perfect. You wanna check this, you wanna check that, and it's a whole lot harder to sell. Another way of looking at it is, if you buy a bigger car, you're gonna spend more money to buy that car. More money on the parts, which is gonna raise the overall cost to you, which is then gonna raise the amount that you need to sell it for, which is an absolute headache in 2024. Due to the economic crisis and just the state of the economy at the moment, not a lot of people have got 10 grand to just dig out their pocket cash, because that's what we're looking for. That's the name of the game. Cash is king in the salvage game. Not a lot of people have got 10 grand cash to say, look, here, take that, mate. I want this car. Even though it's a category, it's gonna be headache. And to prove it, I went out and I bought this old 2010 VW Beetle for 450 quid. 450 quid, I made over a grand profit. Check it out, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how. Guys, I am buzzing. So we're gonna be tidying up, cleaning up this little car. So I bought this car 2 months ago specifically for this video, and using the principles that I've taught you so far, I have picked up this 2010 VW Beetle 450, like I said. With all the fees, it came up to £600. As you can see, the car started, it drives, and it's literally got a paint chip, and the interior is a mess. But I knew if I look past all the dirt and the grime, there's a tidy little car, it's very popular, and it should make some decent profit. I paid 50 quid for a new MOT, 100 quid for a full valet, and I sold this car for 1,750. Tell me guys, what do you think of that little buy? What do you think of the little build? The general public tends to think that when you hear salvage cars, write-off cars, cat-in, cat-S's, it's some dirty, old, mangled, horrible car. And the general feeling in 2024 is stay away from salvage cars. That is it, that is the truth. A lot of the general public have been misinformed over the years. I've seen so many documentaries about bodge jobs. And like I said earlier, a lot of people are doing salvage now, but they're not doing it properly. And it's given the entire process and the entire scene a bad name. But you've just seen, I've proven it. I went out specifically, I bought that little car for 450 quid. I literally spent next to nothing. I've done an MOT, and that is to prove the point. You start small, you sell small, you make a bit of profit. Sometimes you spend double that, you do double the work, and you make a similar amount of profit. You can't look at the price of the car, you can't look at the type of car, just think about the profit. Big money, big cars is gonna come with big price tags on parts, and it's gonna be headache to sell at the end. Smaller cars comes with a smaller price tag on the parts, cheap and cheerful, easy to sell, you're gonna make similar amount of profits. So guys, I've shown you thus far how to easily get into the salvage game. The previous car that I just showed you was a nice, cheap, cheerful build to get started. The next build that's behind me is a more intermediate level, and when you're actually comfortable in the salvage game, you know what you're looking for, you know you've got a decent bodywork garage, and you're comfortable with the process, this is where you can upgrade. So this next car, we're actually working on it in this video. I bought it specifically for this video, and we're gonna check it out right now because this is a bit more damage. However, this is where you have to have that keen eye. A lot of my friends call me Mesut Ozil because I've got the vision. Let's check it out. So this is a 2020 Mini Countryman. It's on a category N, and as you can see, it's got some substantial damage. However, if you look past the surface level damage, we should have no chassis damage, and all the damage that the car does have is isolated to the front end. It's a 1.5 automatic, so it should appeal to a wider audience, and this is what I would call a more intermediate rebuild. As you can see, it's got some damage to the front slam panel, so we're going to be stripping down the entire front end of this car, and we're going to be investigating, and I'm going to show you exactly what's wrong with this car. So guys, I've just shown you the breakdown on this car. Now it's time to get to work, because in all seriousness, you really have to have the vision when you're in the salvage game. When I saw this car, it looks bad. If you look at the front, I can see already that everything in the crash bar is bent, everything's broken. A lot of people might think, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. However, from experience, I know Everything that's broken on the front of this car is literally bolt on and bolt off parts. That brings us to another 2 tips. Always expect the unexpected in salvage. Nothing is as it seems. And the second one is you need a decent diagnostic tool. If you're going to be doing this, whether you're doing it for big money, little money, whatever the case might be, as soon as you're getting a new vehicle in your possessions, you need to have a decent diagnostic tool. But if you want to get just a quick little one so you have a general idea of what's going on with any vehicle, click the link down below and check out OBD11. OBD11 have sponsored my channel in the past. I really like the little kit that they do. This is not a sponsored video. However, I'm sharing this information. You get a little dongle that you keep on your keys. Speaking of which, where are my keys? Yep, here it is. It's always on my key ring. It connects to an app on your phone. This is going to connect to the car, and you're going to get to read any fault codes on your car quickly. So that's what I did, and I know that I need to strip down the front end, and the first point that I'm looking for is that gearbox, because the car's not going into gear. We had to push it in the garage. But anyway, enough talking. This is the part of the video where we're actually getting to work. I'm going to grab some gloves, and we're going to be tearing down this front end because I want to know what's going on with this gearbox. So like I said earlier, get stuck in, guys. As long as you're comfortable to do so, grab some tools and get stuck in. I'm using basic, minimalistic tools, and all I'm doing is stripping down all the damaged bits. I'm exploring to see exactly what is damaged, and as I tear down all the damaged areas, I'm making notes, taking pictures, and I'm making a parts list as I go ahead. Now I've made it to the front reinforcement bar. As you can see, it's badly bent, which is causing quite a lot of tension. So the trick here is to remove the bolt slowly, relieve the tension, and get that broken stuff out of there. Another tip, if the part is broken, damaged, it can't be salvaged, just pull it, get it out of there by any means necessary. Literally, it's going in the dump. However, if you've got another part that you think you can salvage, take your time, you don't want to cause any further damage. As you can see, this complete radiator pack is in bits, so I'm actually being quite rough with it off camera. We're just getting it out of there because I can see that it's gone, it's completely gone. Now with the broken radiator pack out of there, I've actually noticed some quite significant damage, and it's unexpected. I'll explain a bit more about that later on, but as you can see, I've torn down the entire front end and I've exposed the face of the engine, and you can actually see what is going on. And this is what I was talking about earlier. You would never see this by just looking at a picture on an auction site. As for the broken parts removed, I've learned never to throw them away until you finish your build. You might need a part number, or you might need to size them up against another used part. So guys, with the front end of the car all stripped down, I found a bit of unexpected damage. And that brings us to my final tip for you guys watching at home, wanting to get into the salvage game in 2024. The salvage game is very hectic. The salvage game can be very stressful. It can also be very rewarding, and you never know what you're gonna get. You will never know the true extent of the damage by just looking at pictures and the money that you need to spend to repair that damage until you actually get in there and investigate. And that's exactly what I've done. Now, I'm not overly concerned. It just means there's a ton more work for me, and my pockets are gonna be hurting ever so slightly because I need to sort out the connectors for these actuators. If I can't fix the connectors, I'm gonna have to buy 2 new actuators. I'm gonna be fixing this car because I'm gonna be dailying this for a bit. But if you wanna see more on this build, let me know in the comments. If you tell me you wanna see more, I'll do a series on this car. If you're not really interested and I don't get a lot of interest, I'll just crack on in the background. I just wanted to show you the process. So guys, I wanna sum up this video by saying, the truth about the salvage game in 2024 is it's hectic, it's a lot of stress, it's a very difficult selling market. However, if you're clever, you're smart, and you make the right decisions from the very beginning, bidding on the right cars, choosing and sticking to your budget, finding the correct parts at the correct price, all of these decisions adds up. And if you do it correctly and you're clever about the way you maneuver within the salvage scene, there's still tons of money to be made. I hope you found this video informative. I hope you've taken away something that you didn't know. And if you did, please press the like button. If you want to see more on this build, like I said, let me know in the comments down below. If you've got any other tips to add for other people watching this video, please also drop them down below. And this is where we're gonna head out. So guys, I've been D. And that has been the truth about the Salvage game, in my opinion, in 2024. So like I always say, keep it moving, and I'll see you in the next one. See, everyone in the last episode's talking about Ghost in the BM, Ghost in the BM. Let me just pre this thing here. D's gonna be gas, I'm gonna clock it. Yo, big man. Yo. What you doing? What do you mean what I'm doing? What do you think I'm doing? Yeah, what you doing? You're just sitting there watching movies. I'm watching Ghostbusters. You're watching Ghostbusters? Why are you watching Ghostbusters? I'm watching Ghostbusters so I can see what they're doing in the movie to catch the ghost hair so that I can do it, get the ghost out of the BMW. Because I want to drive the BMW in it. BMW M2 settings and that. I want to drive it.